Our next guest is Jerry Needham, the owner of Pro Energy Consultants. Pro Energy Consultants is a business based locally in Geneva. Jerry, welcome.
Thank you, Ellen. I appreciate the opportunity to be here today. It's kind of appropriate that Batavia is the city of energy.
Mm-hmm. And what can you tell us a little bit? Tell us about your company. What do you do?
Well, our company is 6 years old here in the Fox Valley, and my bread and butter business is energy audits. So I work with both homeowners, residential and commercial, doing energy audits. The process takes about 3 hours in the home using thermal imaging and a device called a blower door to kind of help play detective in the home, and that's one of our tools. But I also do indoor air quality testing. I'm a HERS rater, so I test new homes to see how energy efficient they are. And with the energy codes being so strict now in the state of Illinois, I also work with duct leakage testing and other tests that make sure the home is able to be moved into and energy efficient.
So what are some of the problems that you see when you look at a home? What are some of the things that current homeowners can be on the alert for?
Well, the biggest problem is air leakage. Every home, regardless, up until just in the last couple of years, is really leaky in most cases. And I think it's one of the things that's hard to wrap your mind around, that heat always goes to cold. So in the summertime, the heat's coming from the outside into the house, and in the wintertime, the heat is going out of the house. And so when you open a door in the wintertime, you're not actually allowing the heat to go out, you're allowing the cold to come in.
So what can people think about or do to help prevent huge amounts of heat transfer in one direction or the other?
Well, the key is air sealing. And this is the part that when I go into a home to do an energy audit and we start talking about your home needs to be air sealed, people really question that because they're not used to hearing the term air sealing. So when you're adding insulation or you're doing any kind of weatherization, one of the key factors is air sealing.
And can a home be too sealed? Can it be too tight?
Absolutely not. And that's one of the questions that I think is kind of funny, because I was asked that a lot when I first got into this business. And we have a saying that build it tight and ventilate it right. That means that you want your ventilation to be controlled by the homeowner, not coming in through all the cracks in the home, which means it could be coming through dirty insulation in an attic or wherever. So you want it to be tight, but you want to ventilate it at the same time.
How does humidity factor into this?
Humidity is probably one of the biggest enemies of a home. It's one of those things that a family of four can produce gallons of humidity per day.
Oh dear.
Taking showers. And the number one thing is breathing.
Don't breathe.
I think we still want to breathe, but the plants and taking showers, washing your hands, all of those things add additional humidity to a home. So you have to make sure that you've got your home set up so you've got exhaust fans, primarily bathroom exhaust fans. And how many of us take a shower or take a bath, and as soon as we walk out of the bathroom, we turn off the switch
Save
to
energy.
the fan?
Wrong.
So you need some sort of device, primarily a timer or a humidistat, that will leave that exhaust fan in the bathroom on for a period of time to get all of the humidity out of the house.
What kind of tips can you give us for hot weather and for cold weather? What can we do as homeowners?
Well, I think for two things for summertime, which is just around the corner, and we hope anyway, is that in the evening when the house cools down and you're running your air conditioner, in the mornings, don't open your blinds. Keep your blinds closed, keep your draperies closed, because this will help keep your home cool much longer during the day before it starts to heat up. And another thing is kind of watch your air conditioner. Air conditioners in the U.S. especially, because we live in a country that's, everybody thinks bigger is better, we have oversized air conditioners. And air conditioners are nothing but a huge dehumidifier. So if we don't allow our air conditioners to run long enough, it doesn't take the humidity out of the home. And we can be very comfortable in a house at 75 to 78 degrees if it's not humid. But if it's humid, we're very uncomfortable. So if you've got a big honking air conditioner, it comes on, it cools down your house, thermostat says it's 70 degrees, but all that humidity is still there. Now you're cold and clammy.
So when should people think about calling you? When should people think about, gee, maybe I should get Jerry or another company like Pro Energy in to talk with us or to assess us? What are some of the indicators?
Well, I'd hope they'll call me any time of year, but we usually try to say that we need some sort of a temperature difference between the inside the home and the outside the home. And it really doesn't matter whether it's hot or cold. So if it's hot in the summertime and you've got your air conditioner on, there's a difference between the temperature of the outside and the inside. In the wintertime, same thing. So if it's 70 degrees outside and 70 degrees inside, that makes it a little more difficult for our thermal imaging process. We have some tricks that we can play to get that to work, but for the most part, that's the only thing they need to be concerned about.
Now, one of the things you mentioned was that there was a rebate, and rebates mean money, and money means something that we'd probably all be more interested in saving or conserving. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, I'm excited about that. It's been going on now for about 4 years, and it's the Nicor Gas Company rebate in this particular area especially, and you can get up to $1,400 or $1,200 depending on how much work needs to be done in rebates on your home. And you can save more than enough money to pay for my energy audit just from that alone. And it's a customer funded program, so everyone who's paying their gas bill, there's a line on their gas bill every month that says Home Energy Efficient Program or something like that.
Now, is that only for people that are on the Nicor gas, that pay Nicor for their gas, or is it for anybody?
It's anybody who gets their gas eventually from Nicor. So in other words, there are these companies out there to call consolidators that you can sign up for, but that gas is still coming directly in some fashion or form from Nicor.
So if somebody were to contact you, would you be able to tell them whether or not they're eligible for this, but by their address? Is that something?
Yes. Everybody in the Chicagoland area, except on the right on the North Shore, are Nicor customers.
Okay. So then the rebate would cover the cost of the audit, presumably, or at least a good part of it, and then they would know how to spend money to make their home more comfortable, more efficient?
Oh, yes. It's an education process. So many times I'm the one who's the supervisor on those jobs because I don't actually sell anything. I'm strictly a consultant. But after the fact, if the homeowner decides to go with the Nicor rebate program, I may be one of the people that's brought in to supervise the jobs.
And if somebody has a house that's perfect and wonderful and is saving energy already, then having your audit would help them perhaps make the house more saleable.
How many of us would like to go to the doctor and the doctor says you're healthy?
Absolutely.
And it's the same way with your home. You know, I used to feel guilty when I went to a home and couldn't find something wrong. Very rarely do I not find something, but it's always a good sign to find out you do have an energy efficient home.
So now if people are curious, or especially about this Nicor rebate, or about what their home is really like, how can they best contact you?
Well, there's several ways. My email address is jneedham@proenergyconsultants.com. Also, you can reach me at my phone number, which is 630-770-4994. You can also go onto our website. That's www.proenergyconsultants.com.
And you had mentioned to me that you have a video. Is that available on your website? Something
Yes.
that talks about this?
It's on the website.
And what does this video cover?
It covers pretty much everything we've talked about today. You can actually see what's going on during an audit. I'm usually in the home about 3 hours, and this will show you what goes on in those 3 hours.
Well, great. Well, Jerry, thank you so much for being with us today and for giving us some really useful hints and tips. And thank you very much for tuning in to Batavia Spotlight. I'm your host, Ellen Huxtable, and we'll see you again next month.